Good morning. All right. It's 10 a.m. It's Friday. It's time for Lit Lattes. What's up, everybody? I'm home today. Um, so things are a little different. The production quality is going to be way low, but that's fine. Everything's fine. So we're just doing this from my apartment while, like I said, I'm on vacation. Um, had the week off for my birthday, and we're gonna have some special guests. My cat, Sage, and we got Beanie there in the background. Hi, Beans. Okay, so today is gonna be a little bit different. So how we used to do it is like through Zoom and then we stream through Facebook. It's very technical. But that makes it harder for me to answer your questions. So today it's going to be super interactive. At least I hope. That is my dream. Um, this morning I was like, oh, I won't say 1,000 times because it'll just be me talking. I don't have my script or anything. Um, but that's going to be fine. I have two viewers. Hi, everybody. But I want to make this super interactive. Ask me all the questions about books, being a librarian. Can go on and on and on forever about that. So this morning I was looking at my bookshelf and I realized that it's pretty much cookbooks. Um, books I haven't read yet because one, I never read books like a second time. The only book I've read twice is The Great Gatsby, probably because it's this big and I love anything from the Jazz Age. So I don't even have that copy. It's probably at my mom's house in some storage. Um, but yeah, so my to read list, yeah, well, bookshelf is it's pretty big. So I was going to talk about a couple of my favorite books that I've kept and did not give away because I don't like to buy books anymore. It used to be a problem, a big one, but we've calmed down since I got my job at the library. Because why ever pay for a book again unless you absolutely love it? I think about buying that Carmen. I can't remember her middle name. Carmen Marchado book in the Dream House. I think about buying that a lot, and I might because I love that book so much and I want to keep it for myself forever and ever. But yeah, so let's get started on talking about some books that I love. Yay! We're also going to talk about a book I hate. Two books I hate. One I finished and one I read 2 pages and I was like, no, no, thank you. We've talked about this in the past, and it just occurred to me like, can everybody hear me? Usually I have Bridget who takes care of all the sound and everything. Who are my viewers? I can't see anything, so that's cool. Um, it's fine. If you can hear me, can you like this or put a thumbs up in the comments just so I know that this is not all in vain. um, right. I love mystery thrillers, but like not crazy thrillers. So Lisa Jewell, I love her so much. She like reposted my stuff on Instagram and I almost died. She writes super good women's fiction. Some of them are mystery and like suspense thriller. Others aren't. Um, I've listened, I've listened to a few audiobooks, but I just love her. She like knows how to do a good twist. Big fan. She's from the UK. She has a new book coming out that I can't wait to get our hands on at the library. But I did buy this book and it's good, and I might actually read it again. Her. like I said, love any book from like 1920 to like 1950, just like that Art Deco stories about women. Uh, Big fan. So this is a Fine Invitation by Amber Brock. Big fan. I think this takes place in the 30s. Ooh, it tells me because it goes. Oh, mm, so it goes between. Yeah. So I lied. It's 1923, but it goes back to like 1913 when she was at Vassar College. So I was like, that's kind of cool. I know where that is. It's in Poughkeepsie. Yes. Yes. It's around there. It's around there. So this is super fun. It's about a woman who is ignored by her super rich husband, shocker of the century. In the building that they live in, they want to do this mural. So she's like an art person, super active like in the art world, and she finds this painter to do this mural, and they kind of fall in love, and it's scandal, um, but it's really good. It's also kind of short too, um, 295 pages, but it's good. Love books like this. Another book that I read that's kind of like this is called The Chaperone. I cannot remember who wrote it, but that's about a woman from, I think, Kansas, moves to New York City. She was adopted on, I think they put her on one of those orphan trains. Does anyone remember hearing about that in school, where they just sent tons of children to the Midwest to be adopted? So it's about that, and she goes back to the city. I think she wants to be a dancer, and she tries to find like her birth mother. So that's a really good one. Fiona Davis has a new book out. This isn't it. But this is the one that I have. I read this over Christmas break a couple of years ago. Loved this. Again, women in the city. I think this takes place in the 40s or the 50s. They talk about Sylvia Plath in this because they live in the same building where she committed suicide. So, Fiona Davis, if you haven't guessed, I love historical fiction so much. And this is just a really good one too. I like strong women characters. Went to school for women and gender studies, so might call me a feminist. You can. It's totally fine. It's all good. So those are the books that I have now. I also had In the Garden of the Beast. I bought it for my boyfriend as his first Christmas present for me because I loved it and he loves anything like World War II, like me as well. Um, but he put it away, so I can't show you. But I cannot recommend more Eric. Oh my gosh, Eric Larson. I almost called him Eric Thomas. Um, and I'm looking at this One in a Vial that I have, which I will also be reading probably over the winter. We'll get to that in just a second. Right, so like I said, I have a ton of like travel books and cookbooks. These are two of my favorites. I love Fodor for travel books. I also love Germany. So if anyone has any questions, I probably should have been like a part-time travel agent. Um, Let me know. I love it. It's my favorite place on earth. Um, these were super helpful when I was traveling there in 2012 and 2013. Oh, I need to go back as soon as they let us. Taking a vacation there, but this is super good. Rick Steves, we talked about him a lot on our trip. Um, he has some pretty good books too. His shows are really good. If you ever catch them on PBS, and I think they're probably on YouTube. They're on the internet for sure. I mentioned that I have a ton of cookbooks. This is from Conditor and Cook. They have the second best hot chocolate in the world. So I found that when we were in London, and it's pretty good. It's like dark chocolate, delicious. Anyways, we also tried this cake that's on the cover. It's a black and white cake. But I had to get this cookbook. Have I made anything from it? No. Will I one day? Probably. Um, oh no, you can barely hear me. Let's try this. Thank you, Lizzie, for letting me know. Let me know when you can hear me. Is that better? I can just talk louder. Maybe that might be it, or put the computer slightly closer to me. Is this better? Can you hear me? Also, I'm quiet because I'm home and I don't have any type of competition. Is that better? Tell me. Let me know. Yay, wonderful. Oh, excellent. Uh, Okay, great. So, actually, I lied. I think I made the Victoria sponge from here, but probably don't care. That's fine. I love baking. Very excited about this. Also, I love a good cover. I love a good cover, and it feels nice too. Yeah, I made that. Not exactly like that, ooh, but it's fine. If you ever go to London, save a ton of money because it's super expensive. Super expensive. All right, we're going to talk about the books that I do not like. I bought this. So my mom loves to read too, which is great. So I bought her this book because I love the cover. I've mentioned this before. I'm super terrible when it comes to these things. I definitely get things if they have a great cover. I mean, that's the purpose, right? You want to have a great cover so people are like, oh, I want to read that. So I got The Spy, and I'll butcher his name, by Paulo Coelho. Coelho? I don't know. He wrote The Alchemist, though. Um, Great picture. I love these when they just take up the whole back. It's great. Janet Ivankovich. Said her name wrong. That's fine too. I don't get paid to say names right, so that's fine. Um, so that book, I picked it up. It's about, and I'll get this wrong too, Mata Hari, who was accused of being a spy during World War I. I'm not really a fan when males write from the female like character first person. And this book is exactly why I don't like it. Um, it wasn't good. I looked up her Wikipedia page, and essentially, this is a long version of that. I was so disappointed. I was like, I didn't have to spend money on this book. I don't even think my mom really liked it, or maybe she did. I can't remember, but I didn't. So there's that. Another book I think I might have read 2 or 3 pages of and just threw it away. I didn't throw it away. I returned it to the library. Is White Houses. I can't remember who wrote it, but we have it at the library. Don't check it out. It is about Eleanor Roosevelt, whom I adore. She's like everything. She's everything. Um, and so basically, this was a novel about her and her relationship with Lorena um, Hickok, uh, her friend who was a reporter, that just kept her company during her time at the White House. They made a lot of assumptions, which I guess it was a novel, but I just didn't like it. I didn't like how it started, and I was like, I'm not going to waste my time reading that. So, um, if you're interested in scandalous writing based on strong women who are accused of It's fine. Just maybe try it. Don't try it. It's fine. Everything is fine. Need to ask Lizzie a question. I want to know if the chat or the comments are working. So this might be a very, very short Lit Lattes episode, and that's fine. Oh, this came with a. I love finding bookmarks and things. That's super fun. This one's from San Francisco, the De Young Legion of Honor Museum. Take that. Oh, why can I not see the chat? This makes me so sad. This is so weird. Why can't I see anybody's stuff? Oh, this makes me sad. Lizzie, do you want to be my moderator and tell me what people are saying? Because I can't see it. And I told Bridget I didn't need her help today. So fun. And also, you're the best. Gonna move on to this chunk. I love Down Abbey, as you could probably imagine, because we talked about how much I love that time period. So, Julian Fellows, who wrote every episode for Down Abbey, has written many other books. So here are two. The whole thing, it's two novels in one. The first one is Snobs and Past Imperfect. Past Imperfect. That just sounded weird. But I guess the whole thing is called Society Rules. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. Books like this intimidate me. There was a meme on Facebook a while ago where someone had cut a book in half to make it more manageable. I felt that in my heart. I was like, that's not a bad idea. Because I see this and I'm like, I'll never finish this in this lifetime. But you heard it here first. My goal is to read this over winter. I think that's a good goal, right? But I love everything from that time period. I love all like the intricate rules for like eating and dining, and I just really love um everything about this. I think in a past life I was definitely a loyalist. I love anything British, anything. I love it so much. Have you ever started to read a book and thought, did I already read this? That's a great question. No. um Secret about me, I was not actually a very big reader until basically I graduated college. I was always so busy with like school and sports and like every other activity that I never really found time for reading. And in high school, I hated being told what to read. I want to say there were a couple of books that I read, but 1984 was my favorite. Um, yeah, so the books that I've read, I know if I read them or not. Or even if it's about the same subject, I don't care. I love it. I love like World War II mysteries, or World War One mysteries. So I can't get enough of those. Um, so as long as it's not the same title, I will read that same story because I love it. I can't get enough. Thank you, Lizzie. You're the best. Another book that I have on my to read list is Circe. by Madeline Miller. Um, Tina talked about this book last week. We actually met her at the New York Library Association conference last November. So sweet. Gave the best talk. Tina mentioned that she is a classicist, can speak and write like Greek and Latin, all that fun stuff. But this is actually a signed copy. I didn't want a signed copy, but as soon as she finished, I was like, yeah, I'm famous now, everybody. It's so wonderful. She was great. I did start listening to Son of Achilles. I will need to finish that. I don't know why I stopped. I think my borrowed time was up and it got returned, and that's why I didn't finish it, but it's super good. James Patterson has a lot of books. Um, I love him, but they are so similar, so I need to start documenting which ones I read. May I suggest, and I know lots of people probably already know that, but Goodreads is definitely the place that you want to go to make sure that all of your books are documented. I have a list in a journal of all the books, especially the ones that I've read this year. So I like to like go back and like add them in, and I'm like, and then go through and do my like books that I want to read. Um, I love lists so much. So Goodreads is a good place to document all the James Patterson books that you have read. Lizzie, do I have any more questions? Because that's pretty much all I have for the books that I have here. It's a very small library. I weeded quite a few books, and by weeded, it's a fun term that librarians like to use. Um, just get rid of books that you've already read or are just sitting and collecting dust. I have like a lot of self-development books too. I have Rachel Hollis and Gary John Bishop, like the 12-week year multipliers, um, a lot of hosting books. Big fan. I like dinner parties and hosting and having parties. And I've been super into plant books. I've been grabbing a ton of books on plants from the library naturally because I love them. And I've started, and I have quite a jungle. You probably won't be able to see all of this, but like a little, so much light in here. Yay! All my plants, and I forgot that I had coffee. So, oh, that's my Friday morning. All right. I'm not going to ramble too much because I've got some books to read. Um, I'm in the middle of um, a Monster Calls, which is for a book club that I'm doing on the side. And I've also started listening to um, A House of Ghosts, which is so far really good. So that is for our book club through the library. I suggest joining or hopping on. We do it the last Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. And our books are always come from Hoopla, but now that we're open, if you see the selection, you can always put books on hold and get actual book or audio CD. But they're fun. They're super fun. The headboard looks great. Thanks so much. My boyfriend built me that. He's very handy. So we also get a lot of woodworking books from the library as well because libraries are great in the cornerstone of democracy. Got a new mug. All right. If we don't have any questions, I think we're just gonna call it a day. If there's, you could always, of course, watch the replay if you didn't catch the beginning, and we'll always answer questions there. All right. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. I will be back on at the library on Monday. I've thought about work this whole vacation, so yay! Everything's fine. I can't wait to get back. Missed you guys. Lizzie, thank you so much for helping me today because I don't know why I didn't get any comments or questions. It didn't even pop up. I'm doing this on my phone next time. Wee! All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to my vacation edition of Lit Lattes. And we'll see you next week. Who do I got next week? Um, Bridget? I think Bridget's my guest next week. We'll figure it out. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody. Read your books. Visit the library. Get outside while it's still nice. Bye.